I don't care what kind of permit you think you have. This entire setup is completely unacceptable and violates multiple bylaws.
The third orange ticket flapped on my screen door like a warning flag, still wet from the fog, while the delivery guy jogged away and the smell of fresh asphalt from a road crew drifted over my street. It was 6:12 a.m. Cold air bit my cheeks. My coffee steamed in my hand. I looked down and saw my neighbor, the one everyone calls Karen, even though her real name is Lorraine, standing across the street with a neon clipboard. She lifted her phone. Click. Another photo of my porch. I hadn't even touched the box yet. The label said fragile. My phone buzzed in the same second. Notification. Violation assessed for visible package. Repeat offense. I laughed out loud because it felt like a prank. Then I saw the fine. $50. Again. Here's the fight in one line. Title HOA ticketed my porch package 6 times. Then I pulled the permit. Yeah, 6. The same brown shoebox on different days, like the universe just kept looping. On May 3rd, 2024, I got ticket 1. 2 days later, ticket 2. By the end of that week, there were 4 little orange slips taped to my doorframe, fluttering when cars rolled by. The rule said, no visible deliveries left unattended. But the driver rang and ran. I work from home. I walk out. I pick it up. How is that a crime? I called the number on the form. A board member sighed into the line and said, policy is policy. I said, I'm a human being. He said, take it up at the next meeting. I went to the clubhouse at 9:00 p.m. on a Wednesday. The fluorescent lights hummed. The carpet smelled like wet dog and coffee. I tried to explain that packages are part of life, that the driver can't stand there until I finish a Zoom. Lorraine looked past me like I was a window. A neighbor I like, Mr. Patel, stared at his shoes. The board read my appeal for 39 seconds. Denied. Lorraine said in a slow voice, you are creating a security risk. I said by bringing in my own toothpaste. She wrote something on her neon clipboard. People shifted in their chairs. I felt the heat climb up my neck. The next morning, ticket 5. That weekend, ticket 6. Every time, a photo. Every time, a fine. I realized the message wasn't about safety. It was about control, so I drew my line in the sand. No yelling, no petty, no illegal moves. I promised myself I would use proper channels only. But smart is legal. I started with a receipts montage. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. I made a labeled log. Timeline item 1, April 5th at 4:27 a.m. false trespass call. That's when a patrol car crawled past my house because someone reported a suspicious package. It was a bag of cat litter. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. I printed that sentence from the city site in bold. Then I called the planning desk at City Hall and learned something beautiful. There's a permit for a parcel locker. It's a simple metal box that sits by the door. With the permit, it counts as secured storage, not a visible delivery. So I pulled the form, paid the fee of $112, and filed. At the same time, I filed a public records request for our HOA's architectural approvals. My email dinged 3 days later. The file landed with 63 pages. I ran my finger down line after line. That's when I saw her name. Lorraine's patio cover, built last summer, submitted as temporary shade sale. The photos in the file showed a permanent roof with posts sunk into concrete. Setback looked tight. The stamped notes said conditional approval pending city permit. The next page was blank where a city number should be. I grinned so hard my cheeks hurt. I took a tape measure, walked the sidewalk at 7:15 a.m., and stayed on public property. Post to fence line looked like 23 inches into the required 3 feet. I called the city inspector and politely asked for a site check. For the parcel locker permit, of course. I also asked, while you're here, can you confirm the patio cover compliance listed on file Ref 44? He said, sure. On inspection day, I set up a lawn chair, dragged my bin to the curb like it was popcorn, and waited. The inspector pulled up in a white truck at 10:06 a.m. He looked at my new metal box, measured, and nodded. Approved. Then he turned to Lorraine's backyard. The fence wasn't tall enough to hide what she had. The inspector peered over, checked the posts, and scribbled. Lorraine stormed out in slippers. She shouted that I was harassing her. I kept my lips zipped. She said, you can't just install a box. The inspector said he pulled a permit, and I just approved it. He held up the clipboard. People started filming from their porches. I heard a kid whisper, this is better than TV. The inspector tapped the corner post and said this appears to be an unpermitted structure encroaching on setback. Lorraine said the board cleared it. He said the city did not. Someone started a slow clap. I didn't join, but I won't lie. I smiled into my coffee. By noon, a notice hung on her gate like a scarlet letter. Stop work order pending correction. The video of her yelling hit our neighborhood group by 3:40 p.m., then bounced to a local page. The comments poured in. So packages are a crime, but pouring concrete isn't. Mr. Patel posted a meme of a neon clipboard with flames. Another neighbor posted the fines total. $300 and 6 tickets for toothpaste and socks. I added my binder photo and wrote using proper channels only. DMs came in with more receipts. Someone said Lorraine calls patrol every time a teenager skateboards. Someone else shared a recording of her saying, "Eyes on porches, keep order." By Thursday, my parcel locker unboxing video had 42,000 views. The best comment said, "This is the most legal clapback I've seen." The second best was a simple chef kiss emoji. At the next council meeting, I showed up calm with clean pages and clear dates. The officer who handled the April 5th call nodded when I read my timeline. The city attorney repeated my plain law line so everyone heard it. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. The inspector read his findings. The board sat in a row, all small, while the chamber lights buzzed. The president tried to cut me off once. The council member held up a hand. "Let her finish." I finished. The council voted to send a letter to the HOA about abusive enforcement and inconsistent approvals. Lorraine got a notice of violation with a fine of $250 per day until corrected. The HOA announced a policy update. No tickets for packages under 2 hours, parcel lockers encouraged, city permits honored over HOA forms. The air on my street feels lighter now. Delivery drivers smile because they know where to drop. My locker door clinks shut and no one snaps a photo. Lorraine's patio cover is gone. The posts are cut clean, stacked like bones by the fence. She resigned from the board on a Monday at 8:13 a.m. The new chair is Mr. Patel, who brought samosas to the first open porch night. We sat on folding chairs, kids chalked the sidewalk, and the road crew's asphalt smell was finally gone. I still keep my binder on a shelf because order matters, but my hands don't shake when I grab coffee anymore. If you're wondering if I regret any of it, I don't. I used the rules. I learned the system, and I made it better for everyone on our block. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.